Lewes Post Office will close for good. Despite huge protests from local people, owners Post Office Limited say services will be transferred to a newsagents elsewhere in the town. A post office has operated on the present site in Lewes for more than 100 years. One of the country's best loved open-air swimming pools now is flourishing in Lewes, but it wasn't always that way. Mariana Lampard has dipped her toes in the waters.
Lewes District Council once tried to close it down, but one of Britain's oldest and biggest outdoor pools is now flourishing. This is Conrad Ryle, chair of the Pells Pool Community Association, and I'm here with Phil Ransley, who's the star of the whole operation and manages the day-to-day running. So Conrad, would you mind filling us in a bit about the history of the pool and how it came about?
Well, it started off a long time ago in 1603 when the land was given to the townspeople of Lewes in perpetuity. What we do know is that in 1860 the first swimming pool was built here, and it's pretty much been open, I think, since then every single year. Come 1999, I think the district council said that they were going to close it unless somebody took it over.
So basically the people of Lewes got back what was theirs anyway, which had been given to them.
Yes, I think it was very good that somebody discovered that little bit of history. Otherwise, I think it wanted to be a car park here, or I know there was plans for it to be a rubbish dump at one time, and various other plans which weren't really very sensible. So yeah.
Just across the fence is where the North Street development is happening. How is that going to impact on the Pells population?
The thing is, we are a charity, and in our constitution we should be providing the facility for the people of Lewes and beyond, and we should be doing it at a price that people can afford. So we're going to have to, that is always our intention, to keep the facility available for people who need it, because perhaps they can't go on holiday, and there's quite a lot of families in town who use this as their summer beach really, and that's to continue.
Good, lovely. So it's also a wildlife haven, I hear. You have a little family of hedgehogs somewhere in the grounds.
Yeah, I haven't seen them, but some of my staff have had to have one rescued from a compost that's been added to every year for at least 12 years now. We've had mole in the pool, everything, all sorts. Newts,
what else?
Snakes. I've had a snake. Foxes, slow worms.
And there were fish one time as well.
Fish we've had, yes.
After the flooding, there was quite a lot of fish in there.
But when I drain the pool, if there has been tadpoles in there and they're in the pipes, by the time I come to flush the pipes out in preparation for filling, they would have grown into frogs. And one year I caught 53 frogs that come shooting out the pipes as we flushed them out. So it was like being in goal. Trying to catch them, 53.
I hear the swan is a frequent visitor and that he occasionally gets stuck in here. Tell me about the time when you met him in the winter.
1st of February, about 5 years ago, may well have been that swan, was here, and I could tell it couldn't get out because it was still frozen, the pool. It was a cold winter, and so the only way I could get the swan out was to coax it with my lunch along the side of the pool out of the gate.
So Conrad, this has been a good summer, and there've been plenty of takings, and I'm interested to know what you plan to do next with the pool.
Well, we've got one plan which has been sort of on hold for quite a while until we knew what was happening with the flood defences and the development of the North Street Court. So now that planning permission has gone through, the plan we've already had for a while to develop the kiosk and open it up to the park on the other side. Probably more like a mini bistro than it is now, and it'll still carry on serving to the pool ice creams and things, but there will be the idea is there will be a terrace on the other side into the park, and I think they'll do some more toilets which will be accessible from the park as well. It'll probably be open from, I would say, Easter holidays until the end of the half-term autumn holidays.
And Phil, have you had any hopes or aspirations for what's next?
Well, yes, on our list of things to do, which the town council have agreed to as well as to improve the paddling pool by building a new one, and we hope that could be done before the opening of next season.
Thanks, Phil and Conrad, for helping keeping this lovely pool going, and long may it survive and flourish. This is Mariana Lampard, Chalk TV.
The Lance Movie House in Lewes closed its doors in 1963. A replacement has taken some time to come, but Paul Yates has been down to welcome it.
We're standing here on the edge of Lewes at a site that used to be an orchard. It was a sorting office for the post office. Then Harvey's Brewery had a depot here, and now it's going to be the site of an independent 3-screen cinema. And I have with me Carmen Stapen, who is the creative director of the project. We've clearly got a very big deal going on behind us, and I wondered how it began.
It's something that people in Lewes have wanted for a long time. I was very lucky to actually make it happen. I found a business partner very quickly who was able to put up the funds. We started very slowly with not having a site in mind, really starting from zero. And things really started to accelerate once I found this site.
Carmen, I wonder, we're here with this amazing building, and I hear it's got some very unusual eco features.
Thank you for asking that. It's difficult to be sustainable to its furthest extent if you're not starting from scratch. Our main commitment is the ground source heat pumps we've put in. So we've put 12 boreholes in the site. They're each 200 metres deep. That will heat the water that's run underneath the restaurant and cafe areas, and it's underfloor heating. Further features, we've got a big living roof over the auditorium, so that sits on the existing building.
And what is a living roof?
So a living roof is what otherwise is called a green roof. So it's a thick layer of earth, and we're plugging it with chalk and downland friendly plants to reflect the area that we're in. We've got some solar panels on top of that roof as well.
I also hear there are some special windows here.
Yes, the whole exterior of our building is clad. It's like a curtain walled with large windows. So we had to think very carefully about heat loss there. And so these windows are double glazed with krypton gas in between.
We're very close to the South Downs here. I wonder, would it be possible to have any sheep grazing on the roof?
I think that's an excellent idea. I'm going to take it back to the committee and see where we go with that one.
Why have we got 3 screens?
There are about 10 to 15 films that come out every week. So having three screens means that I can just play with the programme and have lots of different people into the cinema. So we can do an action movie and an art house film at the same time and do lots of different screenings of them.
You're opening in the spring, but before that there's going to be some tasters.
Yes,
and
that's a good way of putting it.
There's a pop-up coming.
There is. I think it's particularly exciting. Next week, Thursday, the 27th of October, we actually have a screening at the Unfinished Cinema. It's a documentary made by a local filmmaker called Robert Cannon and Ross Adams. And it's a documentary about the kind of Brangelina of South Korea, who are kidnapped by North Korea to boost their film industry.
My word.
And Robert Cannon is going to be here for a Q&A.
So if we want to go for this, where can we get a ticket?
You can get your tickets at the new coffee shop on Lansdowne Place, just behind the site. Coffee shop's called Ground. Tickets are £5 each. And so most important is that you bring your own chair and dress really warm.
Right.
And we will be running a bar.
The hoarding is rather unusual. Can you tell us a bit about that?
The hoarding was done in this way to engage the public with what's happening behind the hoarding. So obviously they're all film images, and we're building a cinema. And it's really engaged the public, and we're running a competition next month, guessing all the films. And there will be a prize, of course, for the winner.
Thanks for talking to us, Carmen. This is going to be a real treat for the people of Lewes, and it's all going to kick off in May.
Lewes is blessed with dozens of sandwich shops. Some say that's because of royalty. Donna Robertson has a Sarnie report.
Some say it's just rumour. Others say it's true. Did Princess Diana order a bacon sandwich as she passed through Lewes? Rumour has it that she heard that the bacon sandwiches in Lewes were the best in the world. So how do you make the perfect bacon sandwich? No butter on the bread. HB sauce is a must. One local chef likes to use back bacon, but a rival picks streaky. Both agree 3 is the magic number. Mustard and ketchup? Not for everyone. Make sure the bacon is golden brown. Let the bacon rest just for a second. Cut your sandwich in half and it's done. Your bacon sandwich is ready.
It must be true. Rumour has it. Donna Robertson for Chalk TV.
Saying football and art in the same breath isn't always easy, but Lewes Football Club have brought the two together. Sarah Campion kicks the idea around.
There is an unusual art display right now in Pelham House Hotel. Hanging on the walls are a series of matchday programme covers from Lewes Football Club or the Rooks. Each cover is unique and represents a team that Lewes Football Club have played. The posters have become icons uniquely designed, reflective of past and present cultures.
I'm a elected board director at Lewes Football Club, and Lewes Football Club is very unusual in that the entire board are elected and it's 100% owned by its community, by fans and from people around the world. It's got about 1,200 owners actually. We got approached by Pelham House, who are a top local hotel, to see if we would be prepared to run an exhibition of the posters that I do. And I was both flattered and amazed that happened, and said yes. And it's been great, and it's just, it also weaves us into the community, which is what we're always interested in doing.
The club is on an ambitious rebuilding programme, and every penny counts. So the programme posters have gone on sale at £60 each, and are selling extremely well. One example of the clever design and inherent humour of this innovative art is the Rooks washing powder poster. This is one of my absolute favourites. Now, can you tell me a bit about how you came up with the idea?
It's probably one of my favourites too, Sarah, as well, actually. Obviously, it's based on a Daz soap powder kind of thing, and we had a fixture coming up against stains. So, obviously, with a kind of twisted mind, I thought stains, soap powder, Daz. To me, a soap pack like this is such a cultural icon, and it's all in a neat kind of clean image. So, yeah, that's one of my favourites as well.
The posters sell quite well online, but it's meant that quite a few more people have come in to see the exhibition. We've had local regional TV coverage, we've had local newspaper coverage. Apparently they're selling quite well, so that's all good. And of course all the funds that we raise goes back to the support of the club and funds community projects.
Giving the fans ownership was a startling move, but then this club is full of innovation, as demonstrated by the design and sale of the programmes as posters. And it's on until November the 15th, and entry is free. This exhibition is both unique and unusual and has created a huge amount of interest in the region. It's also a huge boost for Lewes Football Club. Sarah Campion, Chalk TV, Lewes.
Let's put our cards on the table, or perhaps let's not. The use of credit cards is widespread, but be wary how you use them. Thank you very much. There you go. Hi, Seb.
Hello.
A pint, please.
No worries. Thank you.
Coffee, please, Kath.
Good morning. There you go, sir.
Thank you very much.
I'm very sorry, we don't take cards.
It's hard to think now what you can't buy with a credit or debit card. But there are still nice little cafes, like this one, where cash is still king. It's possible to buy almost anything with a card nowadays, but we do need cash from time to time. And anyway, It's a comfortable feeling to have a fiver or two in your pocket. How do we get it? From cash machines, of course. And the villains know it. There has been a spate of tampering with cash machines in the north of England, and Sussex police are warning the public down here that it's spreading south. Police forces across the country have reported that a number of cash machines have been tampered with or modified so that criminals can get customers' bank details. If it looks as if the machine has been tampered with, call the bank immediately and then call police on 101.
The Star Brewery in Lewes has long stopped brewing beer, but since 1989 it's been brewing a heady mix of individual craftsmen and women, none more so than the fabulous potter Mo Hammed. So how on earth do you turn this ball of clay into something magnificent like this?
Years and years of practice. I won't say luck, it's repetition, doing it again and again. I mean, it's a huge pleasure. But the great thing about it after 37 years is that it's still exciting. Will I or won't I? And there's always that kind of edge. Just preparing the clay, making it nice and soft. It's a bit on the firm side, so it's taken a bit of effort this morning. I should start actually making a pot.
Do these ever go wrong?
A lot. Sometimes the clay might be too firm, or the clay is too soft, or you get a bit overconfident as well. Yeah, yeah.
And how long will it take to shape this then?
So the main part has been done now. So it will be left until it's dry, until it's firm. I'll turn it upside down, and then I'll trim it and tidy it. I'll give you something of an idea of what it would look like. It's not.
Here's one you made earlier.
Yeah, one I made earlier. Yeah, it's an inscribed piece, personalised. I do a lot of personalised. People are always looking for something special and unique these days. I'm always fighting against cheap imports from abroad. So of course, something with your name on it is very, very personal, of course, and they can't copy that so easily.
The pottery's thriving.
Well, of late, I'm joking, I've been joking, there was a TV programme, it was called The Great Pottery Throwdown. You got the sewing bee and things like the Bake Off. There's certainly, in the last 10 years, there are more and more programmes based on the activity of actually making something, which is wonderful. I mean, that's why I became a craftsman in the first place. I honestly believe that we'd all be happier people if we had something of our own which we could take home, or perhaps do in a garden shed, so which makes us, which is satisfying and challenging.
Thanks very much for your time. Good luck for the future.
Yeah.
I won't shake hands.
No, please, no, you must.
Lewes is a town that just bubbles with creative people, and one of the most creative and famous is a poet, John Agard. He was awarded the Queen's Gold Medal for Poetry in 2012, and his work is featured in schools up and down the country. What is it about Lewes that you like particularly?
So if you take a number of creative people, and to that creativity you add a sense of conscience and a sense of kindness, and then you put them into a place that is still charged with an ancient pagan energy, which you can feel from the Downs. There's always a chance for people to leap and think outside the box. And I think that's possible in Lewes. If you can make your way to Victoria, keep going, you'll pass a place called Hayward's Heath, keep going, and I'll meet you at the station.
One of your most famous poems is Half Caste, which is used now in schools up and down the country, and I think you effectively demolished that term with some humour in the poem you've written on that. Do you think it's still necessary to challenge these out-of-date terms?
Deep down, when people say half caste, there is a perceived perception that purity has been distorted, half caste. And that comes about, again, because of the archetypal symbolism of blackness. You've been blackballed, you've been blacklisted. The baddie in a cowboy movie is riding on the black horse, and the goodie who comes to shoot them down is riding on a white horse with a white cowboy hat. So in the final analysis, purity becomes, in a way, fascistic. So by, as you say, using humor, you could subvert a word and get people to reflect. Foolish wisdom, where a tale that apparently is told through the eyes of an idiot can make you reflect.
Like
and
a court jester in medieval
that's it,
times.
where the jester is more than a jester. Yeah. The jester's post-war reflection. They bombed our tongue. So we bombed theirs back. We bombed them flat. It's called tit for tat. We bombed their tongue. So they bombed ours back. They bombed us flat. It's called tit for tat. Who'll be left to mourn for tit? Who'll be left to mourn for tat?
Fantastic, John. I shall look forward to it.